everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to continue with a page we started in Johanna Basford's Small Victories. It's been a while since I did part one of this, so I apologise, but I've had a hectic week. So we did this one in part one. We're going to finish it today and complete this. Let's move my boot marker out the way. I love that little boot marker did. Well, it's a big one. It's a big one, that one. I've got prints of this in the Etsy shop if anyone's interested, but they're smaller size. Where are they so I can show you? They are a smaller size, so they're more manageable in your boot rather than a massive thing. But yeah, let's move those out the way and let's get started on this. So all the colours that I'm going to be using today are linked in the description of the video. As always, I try to pop them in there, then it's easier for you to grab your pencils before starting to colour. And my camera doesn't want to stay still today, does it ever? No. So I think I'm going to start off first with, ignore my camera just doing all silly tricks. I think I'm going to start off with the biggest floral. Now I did decide for the biggest one I wanted to bring in some of these yellow colours into here. So I'll try and pull out these sort of ochre shades. I think I might have used a it's not green gold, is it? It's not called green. Is it called green gold in the poly set? Or am I mixing my pencil sets up? But anyway, if I could find my pencil case, 1 second, it's over the other side of the room for whatever reason. I'll go and grab that. Do I sound far away? Coming back now, coming back. I'm here. I'm here. If I can get in, my room's a mess. Oh, we recently got rid of our wardrobe to redecorate and buy new furniture, so everything that was in the wardrobe is out of the wardrobe and it's just thrown everywhere. Honestly, my room is a state at the minute. I can't function in it. It's really bad. So I'm just going to pull out some colours. I think it is the green gold, isn't it? Yeah, it is called the green gold in this set. What's it called in the Prisma set then? The green gold. It's a similar kind of colour. I've forgotten. I've really forgotten. So I'm going to go in first on this floral with, we'll go in with cadmium yellow first, 107, and we'll just go over the whole thing. We'll base it with this colour, a very light layer, don't need to push on hard, we're just getting rid of the white space. So we've just got this little yellow tinge all over the flower, and we'll start with that. Oh, obviously, because I've got kids and we need to get them to school and everything like that. I wake up and get up at 7 AM in the morning. So this morning when I got up, I've walked downstairs, and at the top of my landing, just as you walk down the stairs, there's a window that, you know, you can see out onto the side of the house. And at the side of the house, there's a bit of land. It's a bit of council land, and it's got 2 benches there, you know, where people can sit. Right, I'm just going to start off by finding a brown shade that I want to use. Or was it Caput mortuum? No, it was Caput mortuum violet, wasn't it? Or was it just the Caput mortuum? Oh, I can't remember. We'll just use Caput mortuum. I'm going to start at the edges with a little bit of Caput mortuum, 169. Yeah, so at 7 AM I walked past the window and I noticed it looked like from the back a young lad sat on the bench outside. Now it's not unusual because people always sit on those benches in the morning. You do see people there, whether it's young lads and girls waiting for their friends to walk to the bus stop together, whether it's workmen waiting for a lift to work and they're sat there waiting for their mates to pull up in the vans. You know, there's normally people sat there. But this morning, like I said, 7 AM, I saw someone sat there. And then I've gone on the school run, I've been shopping, I've got back, I've been doing cleaning around the house, and I took something upstairs and I'd walked past the window again to go back down, and I noticed he was still sat there, and I thought, flipping heck, he's been sat there since 7 AM and it was now like 10:30. So we've been there like 3.5 hours, 7, 8, 9, about 3.5 hours, and I thought he's not moved in 3.5 hours. Now, from the back, it looked like a young lad. It looked like a schoolboy, and what I could see was like black trousers, and I thought, is that a schoolboy? Because it looks like he's got black trousers on. It looks young from the back. I know you can't tell with men, can you? Men, boys. And I thought, if that's a school lad been sat there for 3.5 hours, is there something up? Like, so I messaged one of my friends, as you do on group chat. I was like, there's this lad been sat on this bench. I said, I don't know. Like, he's been sat there for like 3.5 hours. And then, of course, you know, friends in group chat, they're messing about, saying, oh, go and see if he's all right. And I said, I can't. My social anxiety won't let me. It's like my brain was having a fight with my body. That's what it feels like. It feels like I know as a decent human being, I should go and check if he's all right. But there was this fight inside of me, and it was stopping me going out. And I was like, I started getting really anxious then inside. If you suffer with anxiety or you think you might be autistic or anything like that, you'll understand this feeling. But I was like really panicking inside, like my brain and my heart really wants to go and check he's all right, but I'm terrified to go and speak to a stranger. Like, it's just me. It's different when I'm on the camera because you're not here physically. I'm just in a room by myself filming and speaking to what is a camera. So my friends were joking about in the group chat saying, just go and check he's all right. What if it was your son and you'd want someone to go and check you're all right, wouldn't you? And then they're going, and then they're making it even worse by going, oh, you'll think so if you see it on news that a lad died on a bench, and Kirsty just sat and watched him and sent pictures in group chat. And I was like, oh, for God's sake, you know how you just, they wasn't being nasty, you know, it's like banter. It's like, oh. And I thought, oh gosh, but if something like that did happen, no, I'll be flipping. Oh, I'd feel awful. So I actually messaged my next door neighbour joking, because I couldn't pluck up courage for it at this point. I messaged my next door neighbour joking. I said, there's what looks like a school lad been sat on this bench for about 3 hours. I said joking, I said, go and check he's all right. And she said, I'm not dressed yet. So then my partner rang me on his morning break. He normally rings me about 10:30 on his morning break. And I said, what, do you think I should go over and see if he's all right? He said, it's up to you. I said, well, I'll do it now while you're on phone to me. Then if there's out matter, I'm on phone to you. I'm keeping myself safe, because you don't know, do you, what crack is. So I goes outside and I walks round corner. And it wasn't a young lad at all. It looked really young from the back, like a school kid. It wasn't young. I'd say he was in his late 30s, 40. But it looked a lot older. You could tell he'd used drugs, basically. And it was a bit worse for wear. And I just said to him, I said, are you alright? And he said, yeah, it were friendly enough. It were friendly, but you could tell he'd been using something. And I took some water out with me, out of the fridge, because I thought he's been there 3.5 hours, just sat there. So I took a bottle of water out. I said, do you want some water? And he said, no. So I just walked back to the house, but I thought, flipping heck. Because I would never go out like that to anyone, but because he looked like a schoolboy from behind, and I thought there might be something up there if it's a young lad, you know, because obviously they should be in school. And then it turned out for this. And I thought, oh, flipping Nova. It's the last time I listened to group chat, it gave me on foot, go and check someone's alright, honestly. But, yeah, I'm proud of myself, because it took a lot of courage to do that. I don't think people who don't have these issues with social anxiety and things like that, I don't think they realise just quite how debilitating it is. I was having a battle with myself, with my own heart and my brain and my body, and I was just like, Jesus, all you're doing is walking outside and asking if someone's all right. But it feels like, it feels like something terrible. It feels like you're going out to do something terrible, horrific, and it's debilitating. It is. It's horrible. But anyway, so that was my bit of bravery for the morning. So I'm going to go in with green gold now. So this is 268. And just where we've put the Caput mortuum, I'm going to come from that area and bring it a bit more to the centre. Does anyone else struggle like that? And I see a lot of it on like Facebook and stuff. Do you know if people post things and say, they might do what I did, but they might post it on social media and say, has anyone noticed this man or something? And then people will comment saying, well, did you ask him if he's all right? And then when the person says no, or the person says, oh, this or that, or I had to get to work, or some other excuse, and they get ridiculed by these people on social media, like, oh, well, why didn't you ask him? Why didn't you stop? Why didn't you do this? But you don't know what people's issues are. Do you know what I mean? You don't know what issues people have got. So yeah, I'd say I'm very empathetic. I'm a very empathetic person because of my own issues. I always, if something happens like that and people are saying, oh, why didn't they do that? Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? I always think in my back of my head, oh, well, maybe they felt like this. As such. Well, there was a fire the other day. It's all happening around here, to be honest, at the minute. My partner had dropped someone off at home so that he could go and get his car, because they worked together. But this lad had come from his girlfriend's house to go to work, and his car was at home. So my partner run him home in his car so he could grab his own car, take it back work, so we had it for get home after work. And as they were going back to work, this car's set on fire. 2 cars behind my partner's. I think he said it were like 2 or 3 cars behind him. It's just set on fire. I think it was an electric vehicle or some sort of kind of hybrid vehicle. And it was there all day. The road was closed all day because of it. But yeah, basically it's started smoking and caught fire at the back. A couple have been travelling with the 19-month-old granddaughter. So it's a man and a woman in the front, the granddaughter in the back. And she smelt the smoke first, the lady. And then they've both turned around and seen the fire in the back. The back of the car, back end of the car. So they've stopped and braked harshly, pulled up at the side of the road, jumped out, gone to open the passenger door to get the baby out, and the door wouldn't open. So he's had to go back in, climb over the seats, and he said at this point, he's wrote a little paragraph on the Facebook. He said at this point, the whole car was engulfed in smoke, that he couldn't see his granddaughter, and he's just had to feel around for a release, some sort of release clasp on the car seat. And they've managed to get out, but he's got 60 degree or 60% burns, and he has to have an operation today. The baby granddaughter, I think it were a girl, is it granddaughter, is still in hospital. I assume, they probably breathed in all that smoke. But yeah, awful, absolutely awful. So I'm going back in with cadmium yellow now, 107, and I'm going to go in with a hard pressure and fill in all this white space around the edges where I've left lighter. But yeah, it's awful, isn't it? When you see something like that, absolutely awful. And you just go into blind panic, wouldn't you, when you couldn't open that door to get the baby out? You'd just be like, oh my gosh. But what a hero jumping back in, because he got burned. A hero jumping back in over the back seats to get the little baby out. But there's a lot of sort of people saying, these electric cars keep setting on fire, and they're trying to cover it up and say there's not an issue. There clearly is. It was a brand new car as well. It was a 24 plate. Brand new car. He'd only just had it delivered that week. Right, I'm going to do the centre as well now, but I'm just going to base it in this colour that we've just used as a light layer. And then the bits around the edge, I'm going to do a brown. I think I'm just going to do a block colour of a brown shade. What have we got here? We've got Bistre. Let's use Bistre 179. And I'm going to block in those circle bits. won't be buying, not that I can afford one anyway, but I won't be buying an electric car. I'll just keep buying my nice petrol cars until I can't no more. No chance. So I'm going to put a bit of an orangey colour, I think. Is this an orangey shade? No, that's dark chrome yellow. I don't want dark chrome. What should I use? No, I want a bit of an orangey type shade. Let me see what I've got in my, maybe an orange glaze. Yes, with an orange glaze 113. I'm just going to, around this middle bit, I'm just going to put a bit in around the edge. So right around the edge, you can use a hard to medium pressure around there, but right around the edge. And then in the centre I'm going to put the dark chrome yellow. So dark chrome yellow 109. I'm going to fill in that area there. Now this will all come to life as well when we put the white gel pen details in at the end, it always does. But I'm going to do these little ones, what look like smaller versions of these. I'm going to do them the same colour as we did them, if I can remember what colours I used. You know what, I honestly can't, I don't think I can remember. I think, was it Sanguine and the Caput mortuum? It might have been. But we always put a base layer down first. So I'm going to use, I think we'll use the dark chrome yellow as a base first. So all these ones you can see here, very light layer of dark chrome yellow on them all. May as well do them all and then we can see how many we've got to do. So they're all around the edges, I think, aren't they? It's quite a lot of these ones. If we get those fiddly bits out the way, then it'll be plain sailing after that, won't it? She says. Oh, my daughter's back from residential today. She's been away on a school trip for 2 days, 2 nights. So I'm excited to get her back later. Apart from the fact that I have to pick my eldest daughter up from school later than the rest of them because she's on a Blackpool trip. She's gone to Blackpool Pleasure Beach today with school. So I have to go and pick her up from her high school later because she'll miss the school bus because they only get back later than everyone else. So that's a joy. So I'm going to do the centre bit here in the Caput mortuum, just a hard pressure. So the centre bit's Caput mortuum. You can just do a block colour on that one because, let's be honest, we ain't going to get no shading into that. That is so tiny. You could do it with a gel pen in the centre there if you've got a nice gel pen you'd rather use, but I'd say do it at the end after you've coloured everything else because you might smudge it. It's my favourite trick to do when I get the gel pens out. My favourite trick. So yeah, it's Wednesday today and the kids break up for the summer holidays on Friday. And they break up early as well. They break up just after dinner time. So they've got like the rest of today left at school, tomorrow, and then a bit of Friday. Then it's summer holes, and I've got to say, it doesn't feel like the summer holidays. I think the really hot, nice weather hasn't hit this country yet. Someone needs to remind this weather that it is summer. Because, yeah, just does not look like summer. Anyway, right, I'm going to go around right at the edge with the Caput mortuum of these little florals. So right around the edges, we're going to do the Caput mortuum, but we're going to go in with a hard pressure to firstly put that line around. And then we can do light pressure for small circular motions to sort of soften that line. And then we added, if I remember rightly, I think we added the Sanguine, which is 188. I think we then went around the edge of that with a bit of Sanguine. See, these ones are smaller, a lot smaller than the ones we did up there, so I'm trying to be careful to leave a tiny bit of room in the centre so that we can put that pop of yellow in the centre, because we did use, I don't know whether it was the dark chrome yellow we used or did we use the cadmium. I Can't remember, guys. I think I'm going to go with, should we go with cadmium yellow? In the centre where we've left a bit of, I don't know which colour I use. I think it might have been the dark chrome yellow actually that you can edit. But it doesn't matter. I'll use dark chrome yellow on the next one, I think. So if you want to go in with the dark chrome yellow first, it's up to you. But we're going to do them all the same. So starting with the Caput mortuum again around the edges. They're all going to be exactly the same. Soften that line. Back in with the sanguine. And then the dark chrome yellow. Yeah, it was definitely the dark chrome yellow we used last time. Maybe just go over that one a little bit. Yeah, that's better. It's just a case of getting them all done now, which is really fiddly. I thought we may as well get all the brown florals done first, and then we'll bring the pinky purple tones in last for the bigger florals. Sanguine. Whoops. I think the white gel pen highlights make these florals at the end. Dark chrome yellow. I'm wondering how long that man's going to actually sit on that bench for though. He's not lied down or anything, he's sat up. He's alert and awake, but he's sat up and he's like slumped a little bit. He's got his head down, but when you go over to him and talk to him, he responds. Sanguine. And dark chrome yellow. But yeah, like I say, he's probably been there about, what time are we on now? He's probably been there about 4.5 hours now. Just sat there. But just before I went out to him, I saw an older couple walk past and ask him something. So they must have asked him same if he were alright. Sanguine. And dark chrome yellow. Back in with the Caput mortuum. I feel like I should come down a bit more on this. But I don't want to go blurry on you at the same time. Do you know what they're doing round where are they as well, all of a sudden? They're deciding to make all the paths wider, but they don't need to be wider. They're already sufficient enough for people to walk by, so I don't know why they're making the paths wider, but it's obviously making the roads narrower, and it's causing a problem, to be honest. It's like, why make the paths wider if they don't need to be? They're wide already. There's enough room and more to get a double buggy past on those paths. I don't know why they need to be wider. You can fit all wheelchairs, all double buggies, everything like that needs to pass can fit on the path. I don't know why they've done it. But it's literally the one they're widening down the road. It's literally come about 3 weeks. They've had temporary lights up for about 3 weeks. I think, why does it take so long? Well, they're doing it everywhere. They must have some spare money that they have to spend. That's normally the case. Oh, how awful was that happened in America as well. I don't like to talk too much on the channel in case YouTube block anything that's being spoke about, because it doesn't like certain things being spoke about. But Donald Trump, that's all I'll say. How awful. But what I found, did you see the video of the civilian? It's awful, absolutely awful, because no one, it looked, the video that I watched, it looked like nobody was going to help him. It looked like everyone was focused on rushing into Donald Trump and checking it was alright, and it's like this poor man who'd lost his life. Was it a man? This poor man who'd lost his life were just left, like, and you could see everyone around him trying to get help, and it was just like, it just, on the video, I don't know what it was like in real life, but on the video it just looked like nobody was listening, and it must have been horrific. But I've not heard much spoken about that poor man that lost his life as well. It seems to be all about Trump, and nobody's talking about this poor man. Was it just the one man as well that lost his life, or was there somebody else? Awful, absolutely awful. Oh, I'm glad I picked to do these first. Get the worst out the way. Does anybody do that with colouring pages? Get the bits that are daunting you, or the bits that are a bit finicky. Finicky. What's that word? Fiddler, finicky. Get them out the way first. Then you can enjoy doing the bigger stuffs. I've had a letter. My daughter's in year 10 at high school. I've just had a letter emailed through that's talking about next year. So next year she'll be in the last year of high school, and she'll be having her exams and things. And this letter said, I know it's early to be talking about this, but at the end of year 11 they will have special days where they get to go in and sign the shirts, and they get prom, and they get this and they get that. But may I please remind parents that if any of your children are found to be flouting these rules, and it had a list of rules underneath, they might not be able to join in with the celebrations. So basically they're saying if they flout any of these rules that are in this put in place, they might not be able to go to prom or go to the signing thing. And I think, well, yeah, I understand with something major, like if they have a major incident, like if they batter someone in school, then absolutely, yeah, that's categorically not on. But there was petty stuff on there, like uniform not being correct, like, you know, if the girls go in with a bit of makeup on the face, or a bit of mascara, or they put some of them little lashes on, or they might roll the skirt up a little bit, and they might not be able to go to prom if they do that. It's like, come on, it's a bit harsh. I don't justify none of these things. Like, I don't agree with girls rolling the skirts up and wearing massive amounts of makeup, but my daughter, she does go to school with a bit of makeup on, but it's not overly noticeable, if you know what I mean. She just puts a bit on, but she has been told off for it in the past, like for the bit that she does put on. And I think it's one thing being told off and being told to wipe it off or correct it, and another to be told you can't go to prom because of it, because you've done that. Honestly, I mean, they need to get a bit of a grip, I think. Dark chrome yellow. Let's get these other ones in. Like I always say to my daughter, because I do agree with uniform and I do agree with certain things to do, because you've got to learn, haven't you? Because when you get a job, that's going to be expected of you when you walk into a job. Like if you join the police force, you're going to be expected to withhold a certain uniform standard, or there's certain other jobs that, you know, you have to withhold that standard. So it's preparing you for work if you go into any of them roles. So I've always agreed with it to an extent, but I think sometimes they take it a bit too far. I know some schools don't have uniforms at all, and I'd hate that, to be honest. I'd hate that, because I think that's where your kids get bullied. Because if you've got some kids going into school with all your designer brands, your designer trainers, your designer this, and then you've got other kids whose mums can't afford to buy that stuff going into school, then, you know, they're going to get bullied. Whereas when schools have a school uniform, everyone wears the same, it's all the same uniform, and there's no issues. And I speak from experience, because non-uniform days, because every school that I know of has had a non-uniform day at some point. And when I was a kid, when I was growing up, my dad left. He left my mum with a load of debt. It was nice like that. Not. He went to another country where he knew he couldn't get caught, and he couldn't get made to pay child care or whatever it was. He committed bigamy. He actually went abroad, married someone else when he wasn't even divorced from my mum yet. But they said unless he comes back into this country, there's nothing they could do about it. So all these horrible things. So my mum was left absolutely skint because he took a loan out for a car. And before he went abroad and left us, he sold the car but left my mum with the loan debt, because it was in, I don't know if it was in her name or both the names. So yeah, that was nice of him as well. So my mum didn't have much money. We were always in the two-stripe stuff, we used to call it. You know, the Adidas 3-stripe? Well, we used to have the 2-stripe. So on things like non-uniform days, it wasn't nice when you didn't have those things. You know, if I wanted anything branded, I used to have to ask for it for my birthday, and it was like one thing. It was either a pair of trainers or tracksuit bottoms. So I do think it's tough on kids who are like growing up like that, who can't afford, who mums can't afford the branded stuff, and then they're getting bullied. So I do agree with having a uniform in school. I think it saves a lot of issues. But I don't know, what do you think? If you live somewhere where they don't have uniforms, how do you find it? Do you find that there's bullying or anything like that surrounding it? Let's get that dark chrome yellow in. Oh, emergency vehicle. Can't get video in without one of them, can we? You know, my long time watchers know there's always an emergency vehicle. That's how you know it's my video. I love to listen to noises though sometimes, like when I'm watching other people's videos, if they've got the windows open and they're recording, and you can tell where they are. Like some live in really lovely countryside where you can hear all the birds. You can hear all the birds on the video and it sounds bliss. But I also quite like watching the busy ones as well, where you can just hear the hustle and bustle of everyday life in the background. I find it quite, I don't know, it's like you're entering a little piece of the world, isn't it? Is that just me being weird? What time are we on? 34 minutes. I said it with the last one. Last time I did the part 1, the one up there, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to get this done in an hour. And I managed it. Well, just over an hour. I managed it, so we'll see. Like I say, I'm getting the worst fiddly bits out of the way now, because this is the most time consuming bit, is all the fiddly bits. These florals. Let's get the yellow in there. And then we've got the last set of 3, which is just down here. I've been so bad on my diet this week as well. I think I've put on this week when I go and get weighed. Not to me, smack my hands. Just had a stressful week. Stressful week. Lack of sleep as well, because my son woke up vomiting on Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Saturday I woke up vomiting, and he was up for, good 3 hours vomiting as well. Like, I think every half an hour he got up to be sick. So I was absolutely shattered. And then Sunday was the football, wasn't it? It was the Euros, England, and I told the kids they could stay up and watch it. I knew we were gonna lose. But yeah, I told the kids they could stay up and watch it, so that was another late night. And then the night after, the police had stopped someone outside my house for like a stop and search, and they were being really noisy, and that woke me up. So I was like, I just couldn't catch up on my sleep at all either last week, so I am a bit shattered, I'm not gonna lie. Right, I'm gonna go in now with a base of the Cadmium Yellow 107, but a really light covering of it. We're gonna go for this floral here. So all over the flower. Don't be shy. Then we're going to get some pink tones in. So we're going to do this floral with our pinks. So let's get the middle purple pink 125. And how we've coloured this flower here is how we're going to do this one. So we're going to do the dark pink on the tips of the petal and then leave that yellow tone in the centres. So let's start doing this one. So did anyone see the Prime Day deals on the Derwent Chroma Flow pencils? Absolute bargains on there. Absolute bargains. I think the 150 set was going for £128, which is an absolute bargain. I did put the link on my community tab on my Instagram, I think, yesterday. I think there's still those prices today, aren't there? I think you can still bag those if you're quick for that price. I don't know what else is on offer. I've not had a look. I know the Castle Art pencils are always on offer. Every time there's a sale on Amazon, the Castle Arts are always on offer. And normally the Ohuhu markers as well. They're normally on offer. So just have a little look. If there's anything you've been thinking about buying, now's the time to have a little look, I think. The pan pastels used to have good offers on, but I've not seen good offers on them in ages. I think when I got my set of portrait pan pastels, they was like half price. I got them for like £65. Now I've never ever, since I purchased them, I've never ever seen them that low in price since. So sometimes you spot good bargains, sometimes it's not as good, but it's worth having a look. Definitely worth having a look. So I'm just pulling this colour down. Starting off with hard pressure at the tip and then easing off the pressure into a light pressure as we get to this bit. And then leaving that yellow coming through. Now these ones I didn't burnish or blend because I like the texture, so again I'm not gonna do any blending here, but you can if you want to. You don't have to leave it like I am. If you prefer a smoother look, you can get your blender pencil and blend it out. It's totally up to you. Personal preference, isn't it? Like I always say, I don't mind if you switch things up. I'm not going to be offended if you decide, oh, I like how she's coloured this flower, but I don't like how she's done that, so I'll do this a different colour. I do not mind, because it's just taking inspiration from little parts then, isn't it? Don't have to follow it to a T. Just gonna do these little petals on the edge as well. Oh, what am I getting notifications for here? Coin Master. My partner calls me for still playing that game, but he's been playing this little Monopoly game, what he's obsessed with. We have collect like certain card packs, and he's even joined this group where you can trade cards, and he's calling me and my little Coin Master game. It's so rude, isn't it? So rude. Don't want these bits area, but we'll just pop a bit of pink on the end of those. I'm not sure. This little tiny triangle bits, teeny tiny there. And then the middle bit, oh, I think on these bits we'll go in with the darker bit there, and then leave it yellowish on the end a little bit like that, just to make it a bit different. I don't want to bring in too many colours, you see. I want to keep the same kind of palette. That bit I'm going to do yellow. So these little bits around the circle in the middle, I'm going to do dark chrome yellow, and I'm just going to do a block colour. Again, I think they're quite small. There's no point going in with a any sort of shading. Not for me anyway, not for me. If you want to, that's completely fine. But not for me. And then the centre, I'm going to go in with a Cadmium Yellow 107, a light layer again, just for build up that colour a little bit more. And then we're just going to go back in with the middle purple pink around the edges of the circle, and then we can leave a bit of the yellow in the middle. So I put my initial line round first with a hard pressure, and then we just use small circular motions, light, very light pressure, just to soften that line. And then that's one floral done. So I'm probably, just so we're being a bit cohesive, I'm probably going to do this one pink as well. So it's like one up there, one down here. And then I might do, yeah, this one, and then do those 3, 4, 5 a different shade. Something like that. Oh, who's ringing me? Not got a clue who was ringing then, but it's gone off. It was a dodgy number though. I don't tend to answer dodgy numbers, I just let them ring out. Cadmium Yellow 107. There's too many scam callers these days. So with numbers that I don't recognise, or numbers that look a bit funny, I pick the phone up but I don't say hello. So I just let it sort of, you know, if they say hello and they say who they are, then obviously if it's someone I know, then I will answer. But until then I don't even say hello, because I think there's so many scammers now and so many AI things just want to steal your voice that I'm not even saying hello if it's a dodgy number. No chance. No chance. Going in with middle purple pink now. I'm going to do the tips of these again. So we'll start in here, I think. Just pull that down a bit. Now this bit will be a bit lighter here as we came into the centre. Yeah, the amount of scam emails I get is a joke. Absolute joke. From people pretending to be brands, and they'll drop a link in the email saying, you know, come and work with us or come and collab with us, click the link. There's so many scammy collab things like that, but I can spot them a mile off. Half the time they're not good English, they've spelling mistakes, they don't explain who they are, because a good reputable company will always explain who they are and what they do, and then they'll have an actual you can just tell. You can tell in the way that the email's been wrote out. But yeah, so I get a lot of them. I get a lot of, I've had, well, not a lot, I've had a few, right, what claim, it's hilarious, because they try and claim that they've accessed your computer and they can see what you've been looking at, and they're going to tell everybody unless you pay them so much money. And I'm like, mate, I don't look at dodgy stuff like that, so try it on someone else. Try it on someone else. Yeah, this girl doesn't look at stuff she shouldn't online, so yeah. Go and try that trick on someone what looks a bit more guilty. So there's them ones. Oh, get them all. Get them all. And then you get the ones claiming to be Every, you know, the delivery courier, Every. You get the ones claiming to be them, but they're so stupid they've not updated it to Every, so it still says Hermes. Well, they're not Hermes anymore. And you're like, how can you be so fake? But yeah, there's so many. Absolutely shocking. Just think, guys, if someone truly wants to get hold of you, they will ring you. They will leave you a voicemail. That's the key. If someone wants to really get hold of you, they will leave you a voicemail. These scam people don't leave voicemails. Well, clearly. Why would they? I need to put some of my gel nail strips on. I've used my daughter's polish today because I just needed to come and film this quickly, and it takes me too long to put the gel nail strips on. So I've got my daughter's polish on again, but I'm running out of nail varnish remover, so it's going to be a pain. I'm going to go to the shop to get some more before I can take this off, I think. I've been putting together all my little teacher's gifts. So I've been using some packaging boxes I bought a while ago. I got them off a site, I can't remember what site I used, but I got some packaging boxes, and my intention was to use them for when somebody purchases one of my prints. Now my prints are 5x5, but these boxes that came, they were slightly too small, so the print one to fit in, it would have been bending up a bit at the sides. And I can't really use them for my boot mats because it's just excessive to use a box for a boot mat that can fit in an envelope. So I thought, oh, I'll use them for the teacher's gifts. So I've got some chocolates, I've got some nice little coffees, Costa coffee sachet things to put in. I've put a couple of my boot marks in. I've put a crocheted keyring in there, and I've just packaged it all up nicely. So yeah. Right, the centre again, I'm gonna go. What shall we go in with? Should we do a bit of the yellow, bit of the chrome yellow, because we've not really got the little bits around on this one. So we're going with the chrome yellow around the edge on this one instead of the pink. So we've got a bit of that colouring in. There we go. And then going back to the Cadmium Yellow 107, we're going to do this flower here. So we'll just base that. We're going to do this flower here, so it's similar. Do that one. And we're going to do this one up here, because they're the same kind of flowers, those ones, aren't they? And we're going to do these with the middle purple pink, the same as these ones. So I'm now going back in with the middle purple pink. This time I'm going to go at this side with a darker colour and then ease off so it's yellow on the edges. Just like that, all the way around. And then we've not got flowers merging as well, then we've got this little separation between this flower and this flower. We've got yellow in between the two pink colours. My youngest kids are having a movie day at school today because it's the end of term. They always do fun things at the end of term. So they got to take a pillow and a blanket and a teddy in to school today. And yeah, get to watch a movie. It's cute, isn't it? So I'm going to do the same on this one here and this one here. There's another emergency vehicle going past. Oh, what's the date today? Is it the 17th? I think the voting's ended for the Ohuhu competition I entered. Well, the public voting. Like, I can't get friends and family to vote anymore, I don't think. Or is it just the entries? It might just be that the entries have closed for the competition. I'm not sure. I wasn't sure with how it was worded on the website. I'll have to double check. So fingers crossed for my little monkey painting. And if you've not already voted, if you were able to vote, I'm not sure if they've stopped voting or not. If you were able to vote, please go and vote. It's this little, I don't know if I'll get it on camera now, it's this little painting here. So it's my little monkey painting with my orange, and this is the Ohuhu logo that you had to incorporate into the painting. You had to hide it within the painting. So yeah, he's wearing a little lemon suit, my little monkey. So yeah. Right, so I've done those florals. Now I'm gonna do the centre bits. I've not done the centre bits ever. So get the dark chrome yellow again and just randomly add a bit of that in the centre. Where is it? The teeny tiny. Now we'll do the other flowers. So again, I'm still going to base them with the cadmium yellow 107. I think this is the colour of choice for basing these flowers with. It's just a good base for all these colours that I'm using. So I'm just going to put this on all of the big flowers that are left now, because all we've got is these big florals and then we've got leaves, haven't we? Be careful on this one because it's got some big gaps in between each petal on this one. This one and this one. So I'm going to bring in a different colour to these petals. More of a purple tone. So we're going to use, where is it? Light red violet 135. I'm going to use this one. So again, I'm going to work from the tips on these ones. So we'll put this colour on the tips. And I'm going to work it down like that. Get this real nice purpley colour into the mix. Loads of things to talk about now. You might just have to hear me colour in silence. Bit of ASMR with the pencil and the paper. Don't think I've got a good enough microphone for that ASMR. Do you know what I don't like though? When I'm listening to them types of videos, I don't like when you can, I think sometimes you can just hear it anyway with people talking naturally. I don't like how when you can hear the saliva in people's mouths. Anybody else like that? I just can't. So I think I'm going to skip this floral and do this one and this one, so that these two we're going to have with a slightly different purple on the edges. So I'm going to do this one. This is still the red violet colour. So I'm making sure that we've got a little bit of every colour that we've used in this one down here. So it's in keeping with what we've already done. Sorry if my big hand's in the way. I've got Rammstein stuck in my head. I love a bit of Rammstein. It's a German rock, metal, what do you call it, rock or metal? German rock band. I love it. I've no clue what they're singing. Like, I couldn't translate it for you, but I know the words to a good few songs, and I've made up a few words to the rest. Pretending I know what he's saying. Yeah, I've got it stuck in my head though, that song. People must think I'm crazy around here, because I literally drive around with it blasting out my windows. Blasting out the car. Wonder if they're thinking, is she German? No, I've not got a clue what he's saying, but I like it. What colour have we done in the centre of these ones on the other page? Let's have a look. Yellow. Looks like quite a bright yellow as well, actually. Looks like the cadmium yellow that I've used on these ones. Is that it? Yeah. So I'm going to go in with the cadmium yellow now. Cadmium yellow 107 for the centre. And then I'm just going to do a block colour. Let's make that nice and bright. Nice and punchy bright. And we may as well go into these ones as well in the centre. But these two we're going to use slightly different purple. So we used the red violet for... We used the light red violet for these ones. So we're going to use crimson 134 for this one and this one. Same again, where we're going to go on the ends. It's just a slightly different colour, isn't it? Just slightly. It's only a slight difference though. Slightly more pink into it, and if I say slightly any more times, it's competition how many times I can say that word. So after I film this, I think I'm going to go and make up some sandwiches for a bit of a picnic tea for us tonight, because obviously we're going to be in and out of the car, picking people up from schools and whatnot till late. So I think if I take a bit of a picnic tea in the car, then they'll not be claiming starvation. Take some sandwiches and some crisps and drinks in the car. I think with these ones I'm going to add a little bit of the dark chrome yellow into it. So just on the tips, on the middle bit I should say, I'm going to add a bit of the dark chrome yellow. And I'm going to skip this one. I'm not going to do that one. But we're going to do, which one? This one. I think we'll go in on the other ones with the cadmium yellow 107, but just a little bit more. So not a lot, not a hard pressure, just a light to medium pressure, and just add a little bit more in there. And then we'll move on to the greens, so all the little leafy bits that are left around the edge. So I'm going to base all the leaves with grass green 166 to start with. So we're going to do a light layer of this over all the leaves that you can see. Absolutely all of them. Got all this mess on the page, what won't erase. So irritating. I can't tell you how irritating it is to me. It's like when you're erasing something. Do you know when you've made a mistake and you get your eraser and you go in on it and it crumples your page, it lifts your page up and does that wrinkle and you're like, no! I can't think of anything worse. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just really, really clumsy. So let me double check. I think that's all the leaves. Shout at me if it's not, but I think it is. Yep, I think it is. Right, I'm going to go in with a really dark green now. So this is Chrome Oxide Green 278. I'm going to use this firstly on the biggest leaves. So I'm going to come in from this bit here and then leave these ones lighter on the edge, because I think you would naturally have a shadow where these petals are sort of shadowing it. So I'm going to go there, and same on this one. Let's bring that colour up a bit. Then we've got one here. We've got a couple sticking out down here. Any more big leaves? I think I might do these two down here. These two are a bit bigger than the rest. Do this one. There we go. Now we'll switch to a different green. So now I'm going to switch to Permanent Green Olive 167. And I'm going to do these teeny tiny ones, but I'm sorry, my hand's going to get in the way here for sure. But I'm going to do these ones on the tips, so this time we're going darker on the tips and leaving it lighter at the bottom. Can't think what to say then. So that's what we're doing these ones like. My big hand will get in the way on this, I just can't avoid it, I don't think. These two down here. then the background is going to be the earth green, and we're going to fill it in like we did this. It's like a circle around the outside and all in the middle. And again, I didn't burnish that or anything as well, we just went straight in. So earth green is 172, and we're just going to start off by going into the centre with this colour. So all the white space that's left in the centre of the illustration we'll start with first, and we'll work our way out to the outside of it. So I'm using like I'd say a medium to light pressure for this. But as soon as you start to fill in that white space, you can see it come together. You can really see it come together. So now that we've got most of that done, we can go around the edges. So I think I'll start off around here. And we're not bringing it too far out, we're bringing this circle shape to sort of the point of the illustration, the edging, all around the edging of it. In a circular shape. Again, if you want to blend any of this with your blender pencils or even a white or an ivory, you can go in around the edge and just blend that out. That's totally up to you. I will leave you that choice. I think I left it on the illustration I did in part 1, did I? Or did I blend it? I don't think I blended it at all. My hand is probably all blurry. Wait a minute. The illustration's blurry because of my hand in the way. I apologise. I am just going around all the outsides in a circular shape, following it all the way around. The top bit to do now. It's quite soft, isn't it? I think I like that about it. It's quite soft leaking. I'm sorry I keep turning around, but it's the way I work. I can't keep my book still when I'm going round like this. It's impossible. Hands up if you can keep your book straight while you're colouring. Don't be telling porkies. Let's turn it round and have a look. We've got everywhere with this one. That's quite cute, isn't it? Just going to come up a bit further around this edge. And there we go. Shall we get some nice white gel pen details in now to make it? Sets the page off when you put the white gel pen details in. So let's go for it. Let's find my gel pen. So I'll do these little ones first. These little ones, I'm going to do them the same as this. So we sort of did one biggish dot and then little ones leading up to the middle, and just created this kind of pattern. Now these are a lot smaller, so you're just gonna have to, it is gonna be tiny, but I'm gonna do that sort of thing. Brightens them up straight away, doesn't it? Next lot. They're getting smaller, these. They're getting teeny tinier. There we go, that's that one. Next, I'm going to do some little dotting details on these purple ones. Or should I do the lines? See, they've already got the line out where it's like a little line going down. I think I'll go over that, but with the white. Yeah, do that. So we're just following the line that's already there, but we're making it white, basically. Do that on all of them ones. This one's got dotting details on, so again I'm just going to go over where Johanna's already put the line out in. So you can see where the black dots are, I'm going in over the top of them with a white dot. And then I think these ones don't have the lines on that these ones did up here, but I think it looks odd not having them in, so I'm just going to draw my own lines into these ones down here. Bit of dotting detailing in on the leaves. And where else? I've not done this one, have I? I think I'm going to leave that one. I don't want to put the lines into that one for some reason. Something's telling me not to do that. Don't know why. And just, yeah, it's just something telling me not to do that, and I'm not going to put anything into that one either, I don't think, because I didn't with that one. So yeah, I might leave it at that. Shall I put anything into this one here? I'm looking at it thinking, maybe a few little dots here and there, a few little ones. There, that'll do, won't it? Brightens it up a little bit. So yeah, that's that. Let me zoom out so we can see the whole page, the whole double page now, because it's a very, very lovely, like, double page, isn't it? Look at that. And it's all in keeping with the same kind of colours. I love it. I love it. So we've got the yellow, goldy type tones from the bee into here, which I really love. I love it. So that was the first one we did. Second one. And the page as a whole. So I hope you enjoyed colouring along with this one. If you did, please hit that big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, comment down below. You will of course be able to find, if you've only just joined in with this page and you're wondering where you can find this one, I do have a playlist dedicated to my colour alongs from Small Victories, so it will be linked in the description of this video if you want to go and check that out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye bye everyone.